Hi friends! Welcome to my video. This week I'm sharing a really simple recipe. It's the best way to eat Maggi noodles. In my opinion, at least. Sometimes when we make Maggi, we simply follow the instructions and don't do anything extra to it, but more often than not, our favorite way to have it is what we call street style Maggi or vegetable Maggi, and that uses a few added ingredients, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. It's a really simple recipe, so let's get started. Just a few added ingredients for this vegetable Maggi, starting out with some chopped tomato, sliced onion, some sliced green capsicum or green bell pepper, a bit of minced garlic, some chopped green chili, which is always optional, and finally the 2-minute Maggi noodles themselves, which consist of the ramen-like noodles inside as well as the Maggi masala spice packets. In addition to the spice packets, or alternatively, if for whatever reason you don't want to use the spice packets, you can add any curry powder of your choosing. I have Trinidadian curry powder at home. I am going to be using a little bit of that. To get started, add some oil to a stock pot over medium-high heat and start cooking up the onions. We want to cook these anywhere from 45 seconds to a minute until they start getting a little bit translucent. Then we're going to add the chopped green chili pepper and minced garlic. Push those around in the stock pot with the onion for another minute or so, and then go ahead and add in the green capsicum or green pepper, whatever you're accustomed to calling it. In Canada, I think we call it bell pepper. When I moved to India, I learned that it was called green capsicum. Next, I'm going to add a bit of black pepper and some salt just to season the vegetables a little bit because we are adding ingredients to this Maggi, so we want to make sure we have a nice balance. Then comes the chopped tomato, and I'm going to combine all of those ingredients in the pot a little bit before covering it all up for 1 minute. During that minute, I am going to break up my Maggi noodles. I know that might be a little controversial, but I do break them up. It's just a bit more manageable that way. And I'm going to cut open all of my spice packets to make sure that they are ready for when it's time to add them. And now I'm going to check on the vegetables. They're coming along nicely. The tomato is mushy but not disintegrated. The capsicum still has a bit of bite to it. And now it's time to add in the Maggi masala. Just combining everything here to make sure that the spice is well incorporated with the vegetables, and in go the noodles. I have a large enough stock pot that I can ensure a single layer of noodles without a lot of overlapping, so that when I add my water, all the noodles are touching the water in some way, but that's not essential. That's just my quirky method for doing this. And when I have the noodles positioned just the way that I like, it's time to cover this all up for 1 minute. And we've been working on medium-high heat the whole time, so the water has achieved a boil, and I'm just combining the noodles and vegetables here to make sure that everything is nicely incorporated before adding in a bit of that curry powder that I mentioned earlier on. I just love the flavor of it, so I do add about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of curry powder for extra deliciousness. The noodles are not yet fully cooked, so we are going to cover this up for 1 final minute, and then after that minute, it's time to decide just how soupy you want these noodles. If you want to add a little splash of water and adjust the flavors a little bit, you can do that at this time. Otherwise, we are just 1 step away from the most delicious Maggi ever. The final thing that you have to add, and I really do recommend that you add it, is a bit of chopped cilantro. Now, the reason why this is called street style Maggi is because in India you can actually buy this off the street, and street vendors will add vegetables and cook up this Maggi on the side of the road, and you can buy it super cheap. Now here you can see the exact level of soupiness that I was going for. If you like it like this, then you want to add water the way I did. If not, then don't add that extra water. But at this point the Maggi is done, so it's time to load up your bowl with as much as you can handle and then dig into it. This was our lunch earlier this week. It's kind of guilty, but by adding vegetables to it, it feels less guilty somehow. When we eat this, there is one more thing that we do to it. Well, two more things. First of all, we keep a green chili pepper on the side just for our own nibbling purposes. And the next thing I do, my husband does it too, is we add a squirt of ketchup on top of the Maggi, which is not at all a Canadian thing. Canadians don't eat ketchup with everything, but my sister-in-law, my Bobby, actually turned me on to this. At first I thought it was strange, but it is seriously scrumptious. And that's it for this week. Here's my take on Maggi noodles. I really think it is the most delicious way to have it. Let me know how you eat your Maggi noodles. I know that people add things to their Maggi all the time. I'm very curious about other ways to prepare it, and I would love to even try some of those ways, so let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video and if you love Maggi, then give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week with something else. Okay, bye-bye.